I've got the looks and the charm of an old movie star. Cary Grant, if you will, so I find it bizarre that this girl should refuse to step into my car. She must be shy, she'll come around, it's just a matter of time. Aurora, Aurora.
Hey there, Screen Beans, and welcome to Screen Snark, the podcast that celebrates all of the shows that are in our eyes, on our minds, and in our hearts. I am Rachel Quirky Schrank.
And I am Maddie.
Nailer of that entrance. Damn it!
Well, I mean, we have a flow, and you interrupted it.
We do have a flow, and I did interrupt it, and I flew
too close
to the podcast sun.
And I'm Matt, a.k.a. Stormageddon.
the acceptor of this one over here in my little Zoom box.
Look, we're still reeling from Abe as our previous guest, and like the timing's off because he's a bit maker.
Oh yeah, do you like Double Abe Day?
Double Abe.
Where Abe was on both my shows,
both your shows
on
at the same
same day.
Oops. But we
got him.
Got him. We have an incredible guest this time around, though. He's become one of my bestest friends in the world. He's an awesome dude. He's an incredible Jesse Vitelli. Jesse, thank you for being here.
Jesse!
Hi, thank you for having me. I don't think I can live up to that intro, but I'll try my dangdest.
I believe in you.
We believe you can.
It was a wonderful, wonderful intro. I appreciate it.
I met Jesse at PAX East. Well, shortly before PAX East on the internet, but we hung out for the first time at PAX East, which was over a year ago, and still feels weird to say out loud.
Yes.
I know Jesse through the games industry. He is a writer. He's written for many sites. He's currently working at Prima Games, and we'll talk more about that in a bit. But this is not a podcast about video games, though it could be, because we all love video games.
Sometimes
it is. It's true.
What are you talking about, Last of Us Part 2?
That's true. I did bring The Last of Us Part 2 once, because... You know, I hadn't watched
That's
anything.
not a movie.
I know. Thanks, Jesse.
Yeah. We break our own show almost constantly.
I've changed the rules. But this is a show about what we've most recently watched. And the most recent thing I watched was a rewatch because my heart needed something new that was old. And so I rewatched Birds of Prey, the fabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Which is just... one of the best comic book movies ever made. I think handily, I can say. And definitely one of the most banging soundtracks for a movie ever.
Agreed. Yes, you
Hell
are.
Yes.
Correct. I do believe that my 3-word review for this movie, when I brought it, was made for me?
Yeah.
For 'tis made for me.
Yes.
Someone was like, what movie is bespoke to one... Rachel Quirky Shank.
And it's this one.
And it's this one.
I upon rewatch, though, I noticed a ton of Easter eggs that I'd missed before. First of all, the narrative, the narration is great. And the narration calls out a lot of stuff that I missed the first time. But my favorite thing is in the police station, there's a wanted poster for Boomerang on the wall as she walks in, which I missed the first time.
Oh my.
I did not see
that.
that.
It's when she kicks in the door and it pauses so she can explain why she's there. It stops, and behind her, over her, I think, right shoulder is a and on the way out she goes, "Hey, I know that guy." And like it just didn't register the first time I saw the movie, but this time. Also, when she's explaining to Cassandra Cain how to become her, she recites the plot of Suicide Squad within it, because this movie is canon to that shitty Suicide Squad movie that I've still never seen.
You don't need to.
That's what I keep hearing.
You missed literally nothing.
Yeah. And I also forgot that the whole intro to the movie was animated. I know that it was, but like I had fallen out of my brain, and the animation is done so well in the beginning. And I love that the Joker is animated based on the comic book version, not the shitty Jared Leto version in that intro also, and thank God for that.
You mean the Oscar worthy the Joker from gonna do you naughty in the Nightmare? Joker Leto, that one?
I'm the Joker, baby.
We live in a society, Joker.
Except that line's not even in the movie, because I watched.
It doesn't matter.
It's in the
trailer. It now exists. It's now a sequence of flashing images with sound that exists of the Joker saying we live in a society. We are a full parody of ourselves here in the year 2021. How are you doing?
Jesse, have you seen the Snyder Cut yet? Okay.
No.
You don't.
I don't think
You
I
don't
will.
have to.
That's 4 hours of my time. I'm probably never going to get back.
I enjoyed it. It's
Yeah.
definitely better than the theatrical cut, but like it's not. I don't think it's something people have to go out of their way to see. If you don't want to, I think
Yeah.
if you're into trying to see a better version of what Snyder was trying to do all this time, it's the best Snyder DC movie out of any of them. But like, yeah, it's.
Does it still have the scene where Amy Adams comes to Superman and goes like, "You smell nice"?
No, they cut that. That was ADR.
Good. Okay, maybe I'll see that movie now.
Yeah, they cut that. Also,
You smell nice.
The-
Oh, I'm
what a
glad I didn't
weird,
see the
what a weird
theatrical.
scene to put in the movie. It's like
all of the humor that felt weird were Joss Whedon stuff, and they cut that. So like
Yeah.
Good.
the scene where the Flash runs into Wonder Woman and falls in her boobs, gone. Now he just falls onto the stairs and collapses. Like they removed all of that, and also, God, I'm getting so sidetracked from my original movie that I brought.
So no.
Cyborg is the heart of the whole movie.
You walked us into this, though.
I did.
You evoked the Leto. What are
Like
we
it-
supposed to
thought
do?
you were
Just
I
leave it
fucked the
there?
Leto.
We can't.
The movie has a through line because they put it through the eyes of Cyborg, who is actually the heart of the movie and makes it better than this weird anomaly that Cyborg was in the theatrical cut.
Yeah,
that
it
made
didn't.
no sense.
It didn't make me mad, and that's like refreshing from Snyder because it's just like usually they're just like, you make me so mad, Zach, and this one I was like, okay,
Zach, why you do this to me?
It's okay, Zach. It's fine. Good job. You got your way. So you hope you're happy.
But take it
Happy.
Just we're done. Can we be done?
to take
Zach.
it back to Birds of Prey
Yes,
though.
a delicious movie.
Absolutely delicious. One of my favorite villains in the DCEU. I think that Ewan McGregor as Black Mask is he's just so wacky and gay, and I love it. Like
Sings to me.
it's just delightful. You know,
Wacky and gay.
wacky and gay.
Wacky
You know,
and gay.
like we like our villains, wacky and gay.
With Zaz. I
With
just
Zaz.
love that Zaz.
Zaz was great too.
That's
It
Zaz.
made me uncomfortable how weirdly attractive Victor Zaz is in this movie. It's not.
Ooh,
It's
that's
not okay.
Zaz. Let's have that Zaz.
It's a very attractive movie. I mean, like it's just full of attractive characters.
Yeah.
But like and also like I've already been in love with Mary Elizabeth Winstead since like Scott Pilgrim and so many other things. But as Huntress in this, she just kicked so much ass.
Yeah, I was such a nerd.
I love that running gag. She's like, I'm the Huntress. And they're like, who?
Who?
The Huntress. I'm the Huntress. He's like, oh, bow lady. It's like, I'm the Huntress.
The crossbow killer.
Crossbow killer.
It's not. Yeah, it's tight. It's a
it's just-
tight movie.
It really is. It doesn't drag either. What I love about it is like there's so many comic book movies that have lulls. Like I loved Shazam, and for the most part, Shazam from start to finish was great. But there were some lulls in it, like especially when he's trying to learn how to be a superhero. Like I think it was required to the narrative, but like I wasn't always entertained by those moments when he was coming into his own. But like this, it's just like it's just beat for beat. The movie moves and. Also, the fight scenes are the fight scene in the prison specifically, where after the sprinklers turn on and she's soaked and all the prisoners are soaked, and like just the flips and like the splat. It's so stylish in a way
Yeah.
that a lot of other movies, especially in the DCEU, weren't. And it was such a breath of fresh air, and I think it's
And the
still
use of color.
fantastic. Oh my God, yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that color in a comic book movie.
Color in a DC movie is a big deal.
Just color in like superhero movies.
Yeah.
It's so exciting to see just like this vibrant world that's like both candy coated and drug soaked, you know?
Yeah.
Ugh. want to eat this movie.
Oh, and
Put that on the back of the box.
I want
I
to
want
eat.
to trip off this movie.
Well, and also I've never made no movie ever in the history of movies has made me want an egg and cheese on a roll so badly in my life. That scene every time when Sal is cooking her that egg and cheese and she's getting ready to eat it. It's just like it's the best love story ever told in comic book movies.
It made me feel seen as a New Yorker.
That too,
man.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's like,
Hell
I've
yeah.
been there. I've more than once.
It's
Little salt, pepper, ketchup, come on.
There you go.
In my mouth. Thank you.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it again. Like, I don't really have any notes. Like, we've talked about it before. It's just a great dang movie. If you don't even watch comic book movies, I still recommend this movie because it's more about characters than it is about superheroes per se, even though there are superpowers in it every so often. It's mostly just kick-ass ladies kicking ass, and I think it's probably Ewan McGregor's best performance since, like, Obi-Wan is as Sionis. I'd say. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Jesse, do you have any other thoughts on the instant classic Birds of Prey?
I went into that movie thinking I wasn't gonna like it because of how much I hated Suicide Squad. And when I saw that movie, I walked out and I was like, "Damn, that was a hell of a good movie." Yeah. And I immediately wanted to go see it again, which I thought was a big surprise. And then movie theater shut down, and I never got a chance to go see it again.
Yeah, I love those movie experiences where like you'll see a scene for the first time and you'll just like catch yourself being like, I am literally having so much fun. Mm-hmm. I want to live in this moment forever. Like the entire siege of the police station is just like, I want to live here. Just like swaddle me in a burrito. Let me live here. It's
in all of those glitter explosions
every time.
Just hitting,
every time.
It's such a good scene.
The slow mo every time. My favorite though is the intro to that too. Is like when she whips off the coat and then shoots the beanbag and it breaks the guy's glasses as he hits the wall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like such expert use of slow mo in that whole scene.
Yeah.
And then even the baseball bat fight scene after she gets showered in what we're assuming is cocaine because it's not explicit.
Right.
Or explicitly said, at least. That also was
know.
great. It just...
Yeah. Also, politically, A+ Harley Quinn in that scene. Hell yeah. Kicking its ass. Thank you. Fuel for my heart and my eyes.
Also, for some reason, I just really like her. Well, first of all, I like the irony of her naming her hyena Bruce after Bruce Wayne, who she doesn't know is Batman. But also, every time they're in the apartment, and even when Bruce isn't on screen, you hear like the chuckle, the chortle of the hyena. I love it. It tickles me. Something about a pet hyena is so on brand for who she was in the comics and in the cartoons. And so the fact that they did it in the movie, perfect.
They give her 2 in Injustice 2.
Do they really?
Yeah.
In one of her final moves.
That's amazing.
To like a pink-haired and a green-haired hyena like come in and they like chew on the opponent. That game rips. That game's very
I
good.
loved the first
It's
one. I haven't
so
played
great.
the second one yet, but I love the first one.
I haven't played the first
Oh,
one,
really?
but the second one rules. Yeah.
They're good games.
Oops. I'm playing them all out of order.
Who cares?
What's canon?
You just have fun. You do you.
Yeah. Anyway, we're off topic. I took us there. It's fine. I'll bring us back. I'll get the shit back aligned. Matt.
Yes.
If you had to sum up Birds of Prey, Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, that subtitle is a killer on that movie. It just should have been Birds of Prey.
I don't mind if you use any of the words from the subtitle because frankly I won't remember. But if you had to sum up Birds of Prey in just 3 measly words, how would you do it?
Colorful, psychotic fun.
Yes. Oh, what a great segue to go into the brilliant piece of cinema that I have brought forth.
I'm so excited that you brought this.
To the Screen Snark. So I had realized way late in the game that I had not watched anything new since watching Midnight Run for the Infinity podcast. And while I do dearly love the movie Midnight Run. This was my first ever viewing. Rachel recommends that you watch Midnight Run, and enjoy it. It's a near perfect comedy, to be sure. But because I didn't want to like rehash that forever, I decided to ask the Twitterverse what movie I should watch, and I selected a smattering of musical movies, new and old, and a very large consensus said I should watch Josie and the Pussycats from 2001, and I did, and I regret nothing.
As you shouldn't.
Ooh, okay.
It's an incredible
movie fucks. This movie rules. It literally rips. I can't.
Had you not seen it before?
No, I totally watched it
Oh,
when
okay,
I was a
thank God.
kid.
I
but
have never seen it, so
I
I
was
am
having
interested.
this moment of like, I remember really liking this movie and feeling like I wasn't supposed to like this movie because it's very corny and cheesy in moments and very like slapsticky in some ways, but that really works for the tone of what this is. And it rules, and it's delightful. You know, we're talking about Birds of Prey in those moments when it's just like, oh yes, I am having a blast. So many moments in this movie, most of them with Alan Cumming in the
He's
room.
great. He's great in it.
I walked around for like a 6-month period just doing that eye contact, hand. It was so funny. But for those not in the know, Josie and the Pussycats is a 2001 adaptation of the Archie comic spin-off Josie and the Pussycats, starring Rachel Lee Cook, Rosario Dawson, Tara Reid, and as my brain did when the credits were rolling, wait a minute, they got Missy Pyle and Parker Posey for this movie?
They sure
How?
did.
They did, and they both are amazing.
So good.
I cannot. The caliber of just like charismatic, like committed talent. You know, like they live in this wacky world, and it's so refreshing to see that be honored, even in its like super ironic subtext of like commercialism and like how pop music sells you things. Like literally the plot of this is they're hiding secret messages in pop music to make kids buy stuff with their babysitting money. I kid you not, that's the evil plan. But it's just like covered in ads. Like they're in a Target branded plane with like Tide in the background. It's just littered with ads, but it's so scathing an indictment of consumerist culture being like packaged to you in like propagandistic pieces of media. It's wild. This movie rips so hard.
It's also
Could not believe it.
It's also one of the best pop punk soundtracks of
It's
that
so
time.
good.
Oh, I
Yeah.
gotta look this up. You got me
Yeah,
now.
it's-
pop
Yeah.
punk soundtrack. Hold on.
Yeah, because they're like they're a pop punk girl group.
Yeah. It
The Josie and the Pussycats.
It's funny, they did a reunion like Zoom call recently with the three leads, and it was just fun to watch them reminisce about it. But like on Shut Up Evan, we had Tara Reid as a guest, and she talked about how of all her movies, that's the one that gets mentioned the most. People always ask her about Josie and the Pussycats.
Iconic.
Yeah, it's just such a good movie, and it's such a good adaptation and modernization of the cartoon and comics. It's ridiculous. It's such a great movie, and so many people crapped on it in the same way people like crap on pop stars. When I was younger, like Taylor Swift, Carly Rae Jepsen, Kesha, all got a ton of hate for being pop stars, and it's just dumb.
Ring, 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 ring. Hello, America. Oh, it's misogyny.
Yeah.
The call's coming from inside the house.
Yeah.
We cannot like things that young girls like. Even this movie is hyper aware of
Yeah.
that in the opening scene with like the screaming teens for du jour.
Oh yeah, the fake
you
boy
know,
band,
where it's just like
which is great.
Just
Which,
beautiful.
like,
just a manufactured
Who
boy
are the
band.
actors who are in it? It's Donald Faison.
Jonathan Faison, Seth Green,
Yeah,
that one.
Breckenmeyer.
Yes. Yeah, and then the skinny, tall
Yeah,
one with the goatee.
it's just a goofy, like, girl power
Yeah.
movie. It's like, and I love Spice World, but Spice World, writing wise, is not necessarily a quality movie. I love Spice World, and I will defend it to death, but like, it has its structure issues. I feel like Josie and the Pussycats, which I believe is after, it's that movie executed with more humor and more sarcasm and better writing.
Yeah.
But yeah, considering inside baseball, we know what Jesse's brought today and how much you've been question mark enjoying that. You should definitely watch Josie and the Pussycats, Jesse. I think it will rock your world in the most literal way.
Oh, I'm in. I just looked up the sound, like the soundtrack
yeah.
page. It's got 37 minutes and 44 seconds. That's a long soundtrack for a film.
It's kind of weirdly structured like a musical, except the musical numbers, these like pop punk soundtracks sort of like ebbs and flows between being diegetic and non-diegetic, you know? So it's like sometimes they're playing the songs live, sometimes they're like happening in a montage, but like the songs are all very good. I often get the one from the opening credits, the one that's 6 whole hours and 5 long days, and I'm like air guitaring because it's a bop. Just gets in my head like all the time. It's such a good song.
Yeah.
On top of everything, it does not have license to be as good a soundtrack as it is. Even the du jour song is great.
And it's meant to be a goof. Like this movie, as a music nerd, this movie sets off so many bells because it just feels like the perfect pop punk kind of goofy movie. And also, it's like it's in a similar vein to the first Scooby-Doo live-action movie. Like, it's just campy to be campy in a way that I really enjoy. Like, I know a lot of folks who did not like that first Scooby-Doo movie, but I thought
live-action one?
I thought it was.
Oh,
I
that one
loved
rules.
it. I love that the reveal. Spoiler, I guess, for a movie that's been out a while. I love that the reveal that Scrappy is behind the whole thing at the end. Like. I love that. It's just perfect, considering they crap on Scrappy in the movie itself too. It's tongue in cheek in a way that I think these kinds of movies, especially recreating popular franchises from our youth and generations before us, like you have to be a little self-deprecating when making those kinds of comedies.
Yeah, it's just really fun to see this movie, which is like a rehash of an IP, obviously generated for the buzz of the IP, still being a really cogent discussion about the nature and like even the predation of celebrity, you know, like being packaged and then being discarded as soon as you are no longer convenient or popular. You know, it's a weird, goofy, silly movie that oddly has a lot to say. It's wild. Oh, yeah. It's wild.
Yeah. I think that for those who haven't seen it, I think if you have an appreciation for pop music and you have an appreciation for like goofball comedy, this is a movie you should watch. And also, it's like Rachel Lee Cook at the time was known as like the supporting actress for every kind of comedy, and she was the lead in this and really just kills it. And I've always liked Tara Reid. I said this when Shut Up Evan released their episode about like she's played Airheads in a lot of stuff, but she is not. She is a sharp, smart woman, and like you see that in this as Melanie. Melanie's played for laughs as the Airhead, but she still gets moments of heart and moments of focus and support for the group and understanding.
Yeah, and even like true like badassery. You know, like she is more than her like joyous naive optimism. Like she is very attuned and very empathetic.
Totally.
Like
this movie, it takes the tropes of like the woman-fronted movie and like bands and like turns it on its head because it leans into those tropes just to surprise you later. And like it still has the like best friends growing apart storyline, the kind of things that you would expect in this kind of camaraderie kind of comedy. But I think it does it really well and it executes it really well. And I think it was just the reason it didn't do well at the time, I think, is because I think it was a little ahead of its time, because we see these kinds of satires all the time now. But at the time this came out, there weren't a lot of them. And also I think it was a lot of misogyny and men like, oh, I'm not going to see a girl movie, which is just dumb.
Girls playing instruments, no way. Yeah.
What? That's not allowed.
Can't happen.
They definitely can't. They definitely can't smash their guitars on SNL. You know.
Oh, don't get me started about Phoebe Bridgers.
Jesse's
Oh
favorite,
boy,
Phoebe Bridgers.
my queen.
We stand.
Well, Rachel,
Yes.
if you had to describe Josie and the Pussycats
this
in
is
just
gonna be
3
hard.
words without using the words Josie and the or Pussycats,
Yeah, I wouldn't.
how would you describe this movie in just 3 words?
This is so hard because there's
Rachel,
so...
you described this movie in the beginning in 3 words.
What did I say?
This movie fucks.
This
There you
movie
go.
fucks. But I that's from Twitter. You know what? That's from Twitter because when I put the poll up, someone said this movie fucks, and I did repeatedly yell it at almost like a religious experience where you're like, amen, and someone's like, amen. It's like, this movie fucks, and it's like, this movie fucks. So I will say, because I do not want to steal from the words of a Twitter user who guided my hand this evening, I'll say, of the movie Josie and the Pussycats, thank you, Twitter.
Thank you, Twitter. There you go.
You did this.
You
You
did
did
this.
this. You asterisk me meaning Twitter. But no, for real though, I would say that this movie is conscious, ironic, and optimistic.
Ooh, a good 3-word choice. I like that. Excellent.
Yeah. I think that like means something, but mostly
Thank you, Twitter.
You know, we don't say it enough because Twitter doesn't
That's
deserve
also
it.
true.
This time Twitter did.
Actually, yeah, because the 3 of us are 3 people who are definitely extremely online all the time on Twitter, and it's
my
it's a
gosh,
problem.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I couldn't pick a movie without them. This maybe isn't.
This is the curse. This is the double-edged sword.
This is.
We need them.
What a gift. What a burden.
well, Jesse, our incredible guest, what have you brought us today? What is the most recent thing you have watched?
All right, so I was searching my soul deep and wide to figure out what I was going to bring. And then I realized the answer was right in front of me. I've been watching Riverdale.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, a full disclaimer, I'm not caught up
Okay.
on Riverdale yet. I
It's
am on
okay.
season 4, so I have 2 great seasons to talk about and 1 season that's questionable. This was a show that I had no intention of ever watching. It was just
Yes.
not my thing. Despite the fact that I do like a lot of CW shows. I watched a lot of
Hell
Vampire Diaries
yeah.
back in the day.
I went Supernatural. Forget about it.
So I have not seen Supernatural yet. That's next on my list.
Stop
but
after
I've
season
seen-
5. Just don't. Just abandon
But there's like 40
shit.
seasons of that
Yeah,
show.
but just that's the ending. You'll know when you get there, where you're just like,
Okay.
oh, okay. Look at all of
I
this.
trust
Look
you.
at all of this ending and this meaning and this poetry. Sure hope it ends here, and then it fucking doesn't.
So,
No. I haven't watched an ounce of Riverdale though. I did watch Sabrina, which is sort of like that same.
It's the same showrunner,
And
too.
I took some I took some umbrage with that. So I have not partaken in Riverdale, but I am always willing
Riverdale-
to be evangelized toward it.
it's an experience.
Yeah.
I had no intention of watching the show, and then I had enough people yell at me that I was like, yeah, just watch it. I thought it was a dumb show about high school football. Turns
No,
out it's
not
not
at
what
all.
the show's about. Not at all, actually. I don't know where I got that idea in my head. It's basically like there's a murder. It's a small town murder mystery, kind of like a Twin Peaks thing, but like, not as cool as Twin Peaks. And so yeah, I was watching it. I was going through it. It was great. The characters, KJ Appa, I believe is the main dude's name. I didn't realize it was based on Archie comics until like halfway through season 1. Just didn't know that was a thing. Nobody had told me. Again, I thought this was a show about high school football.
Yeah.
So I was like, weird. They literally named a character in this show Alice Cooper. and Josie and the Pussycats are here. I don't know what's happening. This is weird. Cole Sprouse is a character named Jughead.
Yeah.
Like
who
what
just-
are we doing
who's
here?
a real weirdo.
And so I was like, wow, this show is crazy. And so the first 2 seasons are great because it's just like small town murder mystery with like all the flair of a teenage drama and romance. And the show does something that I was so appreciative of because after watching something like the OC, which is a similar vein, it's like teen drama, but in the OC, like every female and male character that become friends have to have some sort of romantic relationship. Like it has to happen. As soon as you see a man and a woman on a screen together, that's it. They're gonna kiss at some point. And I was so afraid of that with Riverdale, where it was like, I just want these people to like hang out and have a good time and just like go on an adventure. And they do that like 95% of the time.
Nice.
And so I was really appreciative of that because I was like, I'm not here for the like, oh, Jughead's dating this girl and now he's dating this person and then he kissed this person. It's like they don't deal with that, mainly because they're all in like long-term relationships for the entire run, which is fine by me. I'm here for the murder, and the football. And so then we get to seasons 1 and 2 deal with that, and then season 3 becomes like a weird cult D&D
weird.
game where like they're all pledging themselves to the Gargoyle King.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Yo, one of the characters just straight up becomes a real life archer. Cheryl Blossom is just like, I do archery now and I could shoot people with bow and arrow, and we have to find the Gargoyle King. And they're like carving, like bodies are showing up in the woods with like runic symbols carved in their back and like blue lips because they're like drinking cyanide to ascend. And it's all because this D&D game is like taking over the town, and it's not D&D. It's Griffins and Gargoyles is what they call it in the show.
The
famous game.
Ogres and oubliettes, offices and bosses. The ones you can say.
Which I also take umbrage with Griffins and Gargoyles because Dungeons and Dragons is a creature and a place.
Yeah.
Griffins and Gargoyles are two creatures.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they do like
Griffins.
skeletons and cellars and like just
There you go.
whatever S&C, whatever, close enough, right?
Yeah,
People probably don't even know how to spell
trolls
cellars.
and trebuchets, like
Perfect. Perfect. You can get inside a trebuchet. That's a
Yeah,
place.
exactly.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But so season 3 kind of lost me because by the time you get to the end of season 3, you've been on such a ride. There's also a cult in season 3.
good.
Called The Farm, and they're just like slowly bringing people into the cult and like moving into the town and like. Dude, there's a lot of weird shit going on with them, and the cult leader is Chad Michael Murray, so like shit gets even weirder.
Excuse me? What?
This show is bizarre in so many ways.
So bizarre.
And so by the time season 3 rolled around, I started season 4, and I was like, I need to step away for like a couple days. I just need to. So that's where I am right now. Also, the first episode of season 4 is very hard because it's not that this isn't a spoiler, but like the actor Luke Perry passed away,
Right.
Yeah.
and so they do like the memorial episode, and so like that's like a little hard because like that's like a real world thing, not a television show thing.
Totally.
And so I've been kind of like, I don't know if I want to watch that episode yet. Like that's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at with Riverdale right now.
I love that wild show. I didn't get all the way through season 3. I couldn't finish it. I want to go back to it, but like I just remember starting the first season because I had friends of the podcast, Mary Sin and Johnny Caligula, both on Facebook when I was still on Facebook because I'm not anymore, but on Facebook constantly posting GIFs from the show and like talking about how wild the show was. And eventually I just broke. I was like, I have to see what this thing is about. And then I was hooked. And I, too, am someone who loves a good CW show. I love Gilmore Girls also, which I know you do, Jesse. I even watched Seventh Heaven. Like, I watched all of that stuff. Dawson's Creek.
Oh,
like
Seventh Heaven.
Jessica Biel.
I
man. Mom had the weed. Can't.
And it's like, it's. I like these weird dramas. I don't know why. It's why I got into until I couldn't keep up with them, the CW superhero shows, because besides superheroes being in them, Arrow, Flash, Legend of Tomorrow, they're all still teen drama superhero shows.
Yep.
And so that's what brought me to Riverdale, also brought me into Riverdale as well. Plus, it had Luke Perry, it had Skeet Ulrich, like all of these child stars
Cole
who were playing,
Sprouse.
and of course, Cole Sprout. It made me uncomfortable that I found him in any way attractive, because I remember when he was a tiny boy on Zack and Cody, and I'm just like, I can't.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's a good-looking
He
dude.
is
Yeah.
a good looking too.
As a biker dude, too,
Yeah.
when he's Southside Serpents, baby.
The cast is
Jughead.
very pretty. Like all of them
yeah.
are just uncomfortably pretty. It's wild, and it's one of. But thankfully, it's one of those things that at least it's grown ass adults playing high school students, so it's a little less creepy
Yes.
than if they were actually high school students. I wrestled for a long time with how attractive I found. What's his name? Who plays Spider-Man? Tom Holland, because he's very
Yeah.
young, and I'm like, after watching the famous Umbrella performance on Lip Sync
Yeah.
Battle, I was like, this.
But how could you not be super attracted after seeing that?
It's the
Yeah.
best. I still watch it whenever it shows up in my Twitter feed, which is like at least once a month.
The rule is you have to
you
retweet
have to
it.
retweet
have
it, and you
to.
have to
That's the
watch
rule.
it. It's
You
just the
must.
rule.
It's Twitter law, and it's
Yeah.
one of the good Twitter laws.
There aren't many,
There's
but
some
it is
bad
one
ones.
of them.
Yeah, no, and also I think it's really important to know that Tom Holland made all of those decisions in the Umbrella Dance, and it is an invitation.
It is an invitation. It's true.
Are we kidding?
But Jesse, I'm curious with Riverdale. Do you have like? So you said you're enjoying it, but what are you enjoying about it? Is it just the spectacle that it's just so wild?
It's a mixture of I really enjoy seeing Cole Sprouse in something that is like not a child show,
Right.
because like weird like the first time I saw the first episode when he was in there, I was like, oh, this is weird, I don't like this at all. And then like
Zack and Cody.
yeah, how Zach and Cody became one person? How did this happen? And then like actually him as a Jughead as a character, I genuinely like enjoy and like watching his arc through the show. But like it became this thing of like I told myself I was gonna watch it, and then just how batshit crazy it is from start to finish. Like it's never just like here's one issue we have to deal with. It's like there's a murder going on, and now I think it's my father who's doing it, and now there's another serial killer on the loose, plus my girlfriend just got sent off to like the Sisters of Quiet Mercy, which is like a nun-run like camp that's like indoctrinating children, and like now there's a gargoyle it's just like how many things at play and how many plates they spin. And like sure, not everything gets wrapped up in the nicest package, but it's just like it's more of like how they're gonna write themselves out of this one. I gotta know.
Right.
I gotta see how they do this shit. And it's been fascinating to watch.
I love it.
Oh man.
Well, Jeff,
They're also so attractive.
Yeah.
It's hard not to watch.
it's a bisexual's nightmare. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Or paradise. A little of both.
Depending on how you personally feel about your own biz.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a blessing or a curse. Who knows?
Exactly.
It is both a gift and a burden.
It's just like Twitter.
Just like
It's
Twitter.
just like Twitter.
Is bisexuality Twitter?
Big bisexual
There
energy.
you go. There you go.
Yeah.
BBB.
BBS.
BBBS. Well, is that your 3-word review, Jesse?
No, my 3-word review is remove season 3.
Excellent.
That's my 3-word
Or
review.
just-
That's excellent.
No, you said the words about season 3, and I was finally on board. I may leave this podcast and go, babe, you want to start Riverdale? Like, no joke. Like,
There's also a time jump, I think, in season 4, right? At some point.
Season 5.
Season 5 has the time.
They skip ahead 7 years.
It's
I
like
think.
a Fire Emblem.
It
They're
is.
all moody
Yeah.
and sexy, and there's a time skip.
Yeah.
And there's
It's a-
school involved, so it's just like 3 houses.
It's
yeah.
a Fire Emblem.
It's a Fire
Sorry,
Emblem.
I see you, Riverdale. You're a Fire Emblem. Stop
There's an
pretending.
archer.
There's an archer. There you go.
Archer.
Oh, that's so good. I love it. Speaking of video games, though, So I met Jesse
Yes.
through the games industry. Jesse is a writer. He's been doing writing in games for a while. And I would love for you to tell folks a little bit about what you do and the kind of like games writing that you do.
Sure. So back in the day, no, I'm just kidding. So I write for Prima Games. I'm an editor over there. Owned by Rect Global, the global part of us. It's yeah. I don't. There's too many companies involved in this fucking website. Anyway, I write for kind of whatever I want. Like I was hired for news originally as a freelancer, and then it kind of like turned into a full-time gig. So like news, guides, reviews, previews. We're a small team. There's only 3 of us. So it's kind of like an all hands on deck, like whoever can do what. You know, it's me, Lucas White, and our editor-in-chief, Morgan Shaver, who was also on the PAX East panel with Matt and I. And it's a great gig because it's like I get to do what I love. I get to write about video games. I get to check things out. I get to review stuff. I get to write a lot of guides. That's kind of like, if you're curious about like a day in the life of like someone who writes about games, or at least me, it's like wake up, if there's no news or if I'm not working on anything like a review or a preview, it's mostly like searching Google Trends and seeing what's trending guide wise and like what games I have access to and like what I can do with that, and sort of like kind of planning my own day around that. Like, oh, I see that there's a bunch of Monster Hunter stuff going on right now. A lot of people are trying to figure out how to do this thing. I know how to do that thing. Let me go grab some screenshots and, you know, format that and do that whole thing. And that's kind of like most of my day is a lot of like, okay, let me take the first hour of my day and kind of plan out what I want to get done for the day. And then, of course, there's like 50 million news announcements that come at like the worst possible time. And then you're like, oh, I got to stop what I'm doing and write about a blue Nintendo Switch Lite or the Chun-Li Ryu Power Ranger costumes that got announced today. Which is weird. It's always nice because every day is different.
Mm-hmm.
Like you never know what's gonna happen. But at the same time, I have to be on Twitter for like 8 hours a day, which is like not great
For anyone.
because that's where most of the news shows up for some reason.
Yeah, and the news is not polite.
No,
Never. Doesn't care about your schedule.
no. It's just like you wanted to go eat lunch. Sorry,
No.
Sucker.
eat at your desk like a loser.
A prince will die.
But before I was writing in games, I was working on Broadway.
Oh, that's right.
I was a
Before the
stagehand.
shutdown. Yeah.
Yeah, that was before the shutdown. That was so writing was always a side gig. It was always when I was at Twinfinite for a while, and that was more of just like a, hey, I want to like dip my toe in games writing and like see what that's about and like see how that world is. But also like I have a full-time job already, like out of college, and I'm a stagehand. That's like the family business and whatever, and that's what I've been doing since I was like 16. And then the world shut down, and Broadway obviously was one of those things because not only does nobody have any money, but we can't go outside. So why would we go see a Broadway play? Why would you go see To Kill a Mockingbird? So
Yeah. Stay down, To Kill a Mockingbird.
yeah, just sit down.
You know what you did.
Sit in the corner and think about what you've done. And so then I had more time to write, and that just kind of naturally led to this. So kind of like a happy accident. I kind of fell into this, which is cool with me. I mean, it's something I love to do, and when Broadway eventually reopens, I will try to do some stuff maybe on a Saturday or Sunday and keep that rolling because I like money.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
And I hate free time, so
Yes.
it's kind of where I'm at.
You're preaching to my particular choir, Mister. I produce 8 podcasts and host 4 podcasts. So I too hate free time. I know you worked as a stagehand in theater. Did you go to school for theater related stuff? Is that how you got into theater?
So it's weird because it's yes and no. So my dad's whole side of the family has been on Broadway and television as stagehands. So my grandfather was president of Local 1 IATSE, the union, the stagehand union, and then my dad was on the board, and my dad had worked on Broadway because my grandfather got him involved. My grandfather used to run special effects for a show called Captain Kangaroo back in the day.
Amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my grandfather worked on that show, and that's kind of how he got my dad into it. And then my dad kind of like never really wanted me and my brother in the business because like you work 7 days a week or 6 days a week. You work holidays. My dad was around as much as he could be, but like sometimes he'd have to work on a Thanksgiving or a Christmas or something because that's a big moneymaker for shows. And,
Yeah.
and, you get used to it, and he was around when he could be, but he didn't want that life for us. But at the same time, it was like in high school, he was always like, I have a day here and there if you want to come make some money, like, on the weekend or whatever. And then so like naturally I kind of started working through high school and college, and it was a nice way to, have a paycheck on the side, a college kid doing dumb things with money. So I was like, oh, I can make all this money and spend it on, I don't know, whatever dumb college kids spend money on. I think I bought a bunch of video games or something. And then that's how kind of I got into it. And then to answer your question, the long way of answering your question is, when I originally applied to colleges, I was applying to go into the theater program. But then I realized I don't need to do that because I already have the gig that I would be going to college for. And like what they're going to teach me is something I already know. Like I took a couple like stagecraft classes in college, and I was like, not to like brag, but I was like so far ahead, like learning wise. They were like teaching us how to build flats, and I was like, I've been doing this for literally like 6 years already. Like I understand this stuff. Like I don't need to be spending money to do this. And so I switched over to arts management, which ended up being more of like, here's how to grant write for not-for-profit arts organizations, and here's how to basically apply for grants for charities and how to fund and like run not-for-profit arts organizations. So like a lot of like museums and smaller things like that. And so that's what my degree is in. My degree is in grant writing, essentially, which I don't use at all because now I'm a games journalist. So I really don't know what I did there.
I feel like that's pretty strong for our generation and around our generation, is going to school for like my degree is in corporate communications, which is like I call it business light. It's not quite a business degree because you don't need economics, but it's not quite a communications degree because you do need some business courses. And I mean, I guess I could argue that corporate communications and that degree led me to podcasting, which has some branches to it, but it's definitely...
Yeah, but then I'm going to be over here on the counterpoint, also on this podcast, with a performing arts degree. So...
Hell yeah.
Nice.
We rounded out. We got
did
it
it. And we've all assembled here on this fine podcast. Yeah, no. I'm glad that I went to school for performing arts because I got to really like work on this thing that I wanted, and now it informs a lot of what I do. Even now I'm still like thinking with that college degrees are really fun. Like if they weren't so prohibitively expensive, I'd say everyone should get one.
Right.
But they still are for some reason.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, that was such a problem with me was when I was getting my degree, I was so like paralyzed by like, I'm spending a lot of money. I need to make sure I'm making the right choice. And ultimately I love what I went to school for, and I don't regret it. But at the same time, I'm also not doing anything with that. And that's not because I don't like, it's not because I'm like, oh, like I can't. It's like, no, like I ended up falling in love with something else also. And yeah, that's just how life works. But you're saying, it's like I could go back and get a journalism degree if I wanted to, but I also don't want to spend thousands of dollars potentially to go do that.
Yeah, and what you're doing now is going to be 10 times more valuable than like the time it would take to go back and get another degree.
Yeah,
it's the same logic again as like the stagehand thing. Like you're already doing the thing that going to school would help you do.
Right.
Yeah, it's
maybe I take it back. Don't go to college. Just go do the thing.
Just go get life experience.
Just go.
But that's the problem, is getting life experience is so hard.
So hard.
You need a college degree and like 5 years of work, and it's like I can't get the work.
No, it's true. I mean, like the only reason I have the experience as an audio editor and as a producer is because I made my own work. I created podcasts to do. No,
that's what
no
you
one
have
was
to do.
hiring me to produce podcasts, edit podcasts, or host them. The only person who gets hired to host a podcast is someone who already has a TV show and a movie deal. When actors get hired to host a podcast, and I'm sure.
Can I give a piece of advice
Yes.
real quick for anyone looking to get into writing, if that's something that people are
Please.
interested in? It's something I see on Twitter a lot, and it's something that like I truly, again, Twitter, double-edged sword, but it's something that's like really true, is like So many sites will ask for writing samples, and so many people won't apply because they don't have a published byline somewhere. That's fine. Like, if you write and you have a well-written thing, even if it's a Google Doc or just like published on like, your own blog, like that's more than serviceable. Just keep doing it. And the same thing with podcasting. I'm sure it's like you don't have to be on a network or have a big fancy podcast. Like, if you're editing or you're producing content, like, and you have stuff to show, it doesn't have to be like prestigious. It doesn't have to be like I'm on the top website or the top podcast network. It's like, nah, just keep doing the thing and keep using that to shop yourself around, and like you'll get where you want to get.
Yeah, that's totally true. I think also it's much easier to network now than ever before. Like, as much as we joke about Twitter, like I've made a lot of my, like, the reason that I met Liana, who connected us, who organized the panel that we were on, it was through Twitter. We just became friends because I have a Mass Effect podcast and she is very clearly obsessed with Mass Effect. And so, like, you can find the people you want if you want to connect to them. It's people aren't hidden behind these like tall walls like they used to be. I mean, some people are, but like also.
Yeah,
because it's absolutely who you know. It's not. Skill is important, and determination and patience. All that stuff is also important. But like who you know, and if you don't, like ask a friend. Like in most industries, I found as long as you're around the right people, they'll like a rising tide lifts all ships. There are some shitty people in every industry who find other people's success a threat, but for the most part, that's not the case. I think if you find the right folks to engage with and connect with.
Absolutely.
It's why I love our podcast network. I feel like we've driven ourselves to like do more. And Rachel and I were we're already in a groove before we joined the network, but I feel like we've had better guests because we've joined the network. We've, shifted the podcast and made changes to it because of being on the network and the resources we've had. It's just, I think that kind of thing really kind of pushes you to do better and do more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And now they can't fire us because of all those nice things.
Right, exactly. I have to get those in the quota so they won't fire us.
Cover it our asses.
Gotta do it.
That's the ad read.
No, and also just the accessibility of people's literal time is so different now because we're stuck, and it's just like I don't have to like plan to like meet someone at a place maybe, and then we'll talk possibly in a crowded bar about like plans and dreams. It's like, no, I can like snag your time and be like, here we are, faced and no noise, no like other. It's great. I don't want to go back outside sometimes. It sounds so treacherous and so full of opportunities to just fail and fall on your face.
This is true.
It's true. I miss it though. So a gift and a burden.
Like Twitter.
Twitter.
The theme of this podcast.
It's a gift and a burden. And bisexuality. That was the other one.
Also a gift and a burden.
Beautiful. Crushing it. But yeah, no, it's really nice to be able to like access each other without impediment. That's the thing. This is no longer an impediment to our connection. This warring schedules or like bad trains. We're just like here. It's really cool. I hope that we live in like hybridness from the safe time onward.
I think the only thing that is a barrier now is technical issues.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. That's
literally it.
And like more people than ever now have like an actual home setup with a webcam and a microphone or some form of, because everyone's had to like adapt to that. And so now I think more people are comfortable being like on a camera talking to somebody. Like I feel like there were so many times earlier that like I would never want to FaceTime or I'd be like, just call me or text me. Now it's like, you want to hop on a Discord call? You want to hop on a Zoom call? Like we could do that. Like I could do that super easy. I've got my shit. Like I just sit down, and I feel like so many people feel more comfortable that way.
Yeah.
And it definitely helps like produce creativity in a sense that I don't think we could have done previously online.
Yeah.
For sure not. Yeah. I mean, and like Rachel and I have been doing this podcast remotely for a while before the pandemic, which was great because then the shift was much easier to do. But like I used to have to like explain to get people on the show, whereas now it's just kind of like, yeah, I have a podcast, we'll hop on a Zoom call, and most folks are like, oh, cool, all right, yeah, no problem.
neat, yeah.
And like with Zoom, like if we have a guest that literally has no tech setup whatsoever, we can still record them and get really workable audio from it. Like,
yeah, but it's almost become not a question anymore.
Uh-huh.
I never ask like, do you have a webcam? It's always like, can you record your own audio? Like, have you discovered Audacity yet? Just wondering, because like you already know that everyone's set up.
Yeah.
It's wild. Before we let you go, Jesse, I feel I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you some things about video games. I know that you and I talk a lot about the games that are coming up that we're excited for, but I'm curious if there's any games that not a lot of folks maybe have heard of or know about that you're looking forward to besides like the big stuff. Is there any like smaller titles or indie stuff that you're looking forward to that's coming up?
All right. So 2 come to my brain right now. 1, a game got teased last week and officially announced this morning. It's called Gord. Gord.
Okay.
It's being developed by ex-CD Projekt Red people. They formed their own indie studio in Poland. It's basically like a settlement. It kind of looks like Valheim, like art style wise, but it's like a city settlement manager.
Ooh.
But there's like combat and stuff, and you're fighting like horrific creatures, and it's about like keeping your city's psychological state going.
Wow.
And not letting them like fall to the darkness and get hungry and like turn on each other. They just revealed a official trailer for it this morning. It's not coming out till next year, but I think it's something that should be on people's radar because it sounds like it's going to be killer, and that trailer made me really excited for it.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
I'm playing the trailer quietly and just looking at the. Oh, I love it. The color. Oh,
This looks dope.
It's like super
this looks
unique.
Amazing.
And they teased it last week, and everybody thought it was going to be like a super horror game. And then when we got the trailer yesterday, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, this is not what people are expecting. I was like worried that people were going to be like super down on it because it wasn't like a Hideo Kojima horror game or some like crazy nonsense. But the reaction to it seemed really positive this morning, and I was really happy because I was like, this is a new studio. They haven't put out a game yet. You know, indie devs, Poland, like, let's go. Like, the game looks super unique. I haven't seen anything quite like it. So I'm super excited about that. And then next week on Friday, Nier Replicant comes out. And I'm really excited for that one. The reason I bring it up is, like, Nier Automata was, like, a pretty big game. You know, a lot of people knew about it. A lot of people played it. Replicant is a prequel, takes place way before Automata, doesn't really have a lot of ties to Automata, if any. I don't want to say too much. And I just think people should play that game. I think it's a remaster of a game that came out on like the 360 that not a lot of people played. And I just think it has an incredible story. I think whether you like Nier Automata or not, it's different enough that it's just if you want to get real sad, play Nier Replicant. Like, that is a sad video game.
I love when video games make me sad.
It makes you sad in like an extremely existential way.
Oh, good.
Like, there's a lot of side quests in that game that in original Nier that do not have happy endings. I would say that most of the side quests in that game do not have happy endings. It's a lot of like, please go find my lover, and then like you find out what happened and you're like, sorry, that person doesn't exist anymore. And so those are the two games that are coming. Well, one 2022 and then Nier. But in terms of other stuff, like, we don't really have a ton of information on everything.
That's true.
Like, Pokemon Snap is at the end of the month. That's cool.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for Pokemon Snap.
That game is probably going to be pretty good. People like Pokemon. I like Pokemon. I like Pokemon Snap. $60. I don't know, but
it is a steep price, I think, for that. But also, they re-released Wii U games for $60, so like,
right. And so I'm just worried that game's going to be like 3 hours long.
Right, because the first one was only
that's what
like
I'm worried
3
about.
hours long. You could beat it.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if you played it through 2 or 3 times, it's 9 hours to like unlock everything.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But other than that, it's like, what do we got? We got Ratchet and Clank, which looks cool, and then you got Skyward Sword HD, which
Sure.
not my thing.
Yeah, fair.
I feel like I'm alone in the Skyward Sword love. It's just one of those games that like was so tactile because like you have to point and swing and fly, and it was just like it was built for my non-dexterous fingies.
I've never played it, but I hate Link's face. There's something about Link's face in that game that freaks me out, and I don't want any part of it.
That's fair.
I don't want Link. I don't want to see Link like that. I don't want. I'm like, what they do to my boy? It's that Godfather meme. It's like, look how they massacred my boy. That's what it is.
Yeah, Skyward Sword is one of the few Zelda games I missed, and so I'm excited to play it on Switch. I'll probably buy it regardless. But I get that. I know that a lot of folks didn't love it. Yeah, I mean, I think the game that I'm holding out for hope on this year, and I just don't think it's going to happen, is Boyfriend Dungeon. I've wanted Boyfriend Dungeon for so long, and I just don't think it's going to happen because...
I think you'll get it this year.
Yeah, you think I will?
I don't have any information.
Sure,
I cannot say one way. I just feel like I need to
Yeah.
Make it clear.
state that I don't have any inside knowledge of that. But I feel like that game has been shown a lot over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's ripe for like a summer or like September release, right? Like
Yeah.
it's one of those things I just feel like it might get buried in holiday depending on what comes out. But I feel like you give me like an August release date for that, and I feel like that thing will thrive.
Yeah. I mean, especially...
I wanted to.
Especially since they announced it's going to be on Game Pass as well as the Switch now. Like, it is a
You know
big
what?
thing.
Tomorrow there's a Nintendo indie thing.
Oh my God, I hadn't thought
You
of
might see Boyfriend Dungeon tomorrow.
Yeah, because they do
Boy.
shadow drops during the indie thing.
Yeah. Hey, listeners in the future, you already know this answer, so feel our feelings for us about it.
Oh, right.
Right
This,
here?
this will be out after that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. But you're right. I hadn't thought of that, Jesse. That would be dope. I hadn't even considered that.
No.
I don't mean to give you false hope
No.
in the case that nothing happens.
Sure.
But like maybe.
That,
you never know, right?
That would be ideal. And like
Yeah.
a shadow drop onto that and Xbox Game Pass would make sense. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Only time will tell.
Who knows?
Jesse, I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
This
you,
has been an
Jesse.
absolute blast.
You've
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate
our
it. I always love to
hero.
come on this kind of stuff.
yeah.
We're going to give you a chance to plug your stuff in just a moment, but and also we have to ask you our final question.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
But before we get to that, we have some folks to thank.
Yes,
Rachel.
I'm on it. First and foremost, thank you to John Presnell for the use of the song Aurora off the album Fair Game featuring Stefan Remble.
Also-
What a jam.
It is the best jam. Someday we will have you on this podcast.
No, we're in chats. We're figuring it out.
Yes.
John's got something cooking,
Cool.
so
Sweet. I
we're
love John
waiting
Presnell.
till the pot is boiling.
If
on
you
what
want a
John
good
is doing.
indie rock artist, John Presnell is your
Yeah.
jam. Check him out. I also want to thank the incredible Katie Bug, who designed our incredible show art. You can commission her to do all sorts of cool art. You can
Yeah.
check her out on Twitter at Katie Beast. She's on Instagram, I believe, at the same handle. Go
Yes.
check out Katie. She's amazing.
Say nice things to her and give her money.
Please. And thank you, of course, to the Certain POV Podcast Network for not
Yes.
firing us.
We already did that part,
We
so
did-
I
we
wasn't
did.
gonna do it. Well, it's not gonna get better than what you said like 10 minutes
It's
ago.
true. If you want to know more about the network, you can go to certainpov.com. We have a permanent invite link to our Discord server where we talk about all sorts of nerdy stuff. There are a bunch of other really great podcasts.
Yeah.
Go check that out. And if you have an opportunity, write us a review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. It helps us get featured, helps folk to find us, and grow this incredible community with all of you lovely screen
Yeah.
beans.
Yes, do all of these things.
Jesse-
Say nice things to us and give us money.
Yes, exactly. Please buy our
I don't
merch.
know, worth a shot.
Right? Why not?
Why not?
Before we ask you the final question, Jesse, why don't you tell folks where they can find you on the internet and find your stuff?
To say nice things to you and give you money.
Yes.
Oh God. Okay, if you want to find my cursed content on the internet,
I do.
you can find me on the double-edged sword known as twitter.com/Jesterfer. No, that's not my handle anymore.
You're
It's
on
Jesse-
the line. I'm following you.
Jesse Vitelli. I think it's just JESSEVITELLI. I don't think I'm Jesterfer on Twitter
Nope.
anymore. I was Mama Vitelli for a while. So you can find me there. You can find my writing at primagames.com along with Lucas and Morgan, who all put out excellent work. I'm very happy with the content we've been putting out there. I think that's about it. I don't really. I have a Twitch at Jestifer, but I haven't streamed in forever. I don't know. Streaming's maybe not my thing. But yeah, so mainly Twitter. You could probably find me on Facebook and Instagram if you wanted to. I don't really post there, but if like that's your thing, like hit me up. Let's hang out. I don't know what you do on those platforms. But yeah, it's really just Twitter. Just follow me.
Yeah, he's a good follow. If you want to see Jesse ruin an entire pot of sauce by shaking open seasoning in TikTok form,
it's my pinned tweet.
It's gorgeous.
I did an Instagram live cooking show, and I dump an entire thing of red pepper flakes into a pasta sauce while I was drunk, and it is a great video.
It's the best.
But yeah, that's me.
All right. Well, thank you again, Jesse. I adore you, and this was a blast. Rachel, are you ready to? Are you watching the video, Rachel?
I'm looking at the. Oh!
Live reaction. It's so good. It's the best.
It's just I see it happen. I see it. I know what you're about to do, and I can't help you or stop.
Yeah,
and then it
I couldn't help
happens.
myself.
Oh, that.
It's good. It's a favorite.
God tier. That was great.
If you listen to it with the sound on when you can, because my roommate starts yelling at me while it's happening.
No.
He's like, "You idiot! You idiot! I see what you're doing."
Before we let you back,
that did my heart great. I hope that's the best plug of all. It's like, here's how it made me. Here's how I reacted.
I gotta lure them in with
Right,
the video,
exactly.
and then hope that they
Let's go
stay
look at it.
for all the other cursed content.
Live for it.
Before we let you back into the wild, though, Jesse, we do have one final question, which I will hand over to my incredible co-host, Rachel.
Yes. Jesse, you are very familiar with the concept of storytelling. Of course.
Sure.
We have often seen many bits of storytelling shorthand rise above the rest and achieve the level of trope. What a beautiful thing, a trope. If you could choose any one trope to instantly and magically be true in your life, what movie or television trope would you choose?
Oh boy. A trope.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I would love. Okay, I got it. So for instance, when I dump that red pepper flake into the sauce,
Yes.
I want a Wilhelm scream to happen anytime I do anything.
Wilhelm scream.
Like I
on
fall,
command.
I drop something, just every time. I want it to happen like 30 times a day. Anytime I mess something
I
up,
am
we get a Wilhelm scream.
legitimately so amazed. We have done 70 of these
Something
episodes,
like that. Yeah, this is number 70.
and nary a one has met. Nary a trope has been the same. Our guests are incredible.
They are incredible. And I love that you chose the Wilhelm scream because even though I can't reproduce it, the minute you said it, I heard it in my head.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is that considered a trope? I guess, right? It's used in everything.
Yeah.
It's shorthand for guys screaming or dying.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird like quasi trope that's like metatextual.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
It's like Twitter.
It's a gift and a curse. That Wilhelm scream. I tell
We
you.
call a running gag, folks. You love to see it.
I think it evolved a little, but
Again,
it's fine. Y'all get it. You're smart.
again, I want to thank Jesse Vitelli. I also want to thank.
thank you,
Thank you so much,
Jesse.
Jesse. This was a delight.
Thank you for having
And I also
me.
want to thank my stunning, brilliant, hilarious, and talented co-host, Rachel Quirky Shank.
Oh, and I want to thank my conscious, ironic, optimistic co-host, Matt, a.k.a. Stormageddon. I want to thank my thank you Twitter co-host, Matt, a.k.a.
What we
Stormageddon.
call a callback, kids. It's when you call back to a joke from before.
It may last forever.
Remove
because
season 3.
remove season 3.
And thank you, loyal listeners, for being here. We adore you. And remember, we will see you at the movies or on account somewhere. Bye-bye.
Aurora, 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 Aurora. Metal to magnet, she will be mine. Aurora.
So, I have a question. Have you ever wanted to get into comics but you just didn't know where to start? Well, Welcome to Comics Quest. I'm JD Martin, and every week I sit down with a guest to talk a comic that I think anybody can pick up and start their comics reading journey. We take a look at psychedelic sci-fi, fantastical action, heart-wrenching love stories, and of course, superheroes. So check us out at certainpov.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
CPOV. CertainPOV.com.